freedoms. Many of us followed him at 8 p.m. lives during the darkest days of the pandemic. He is a PA senator representing Adams, Cumberland, Franklin, and York counties. He is running for governor of Pennsylvania, and that's what we need. Doug?
Any Americans in the house here? Oh yeah. Any God-fearing, patriotic Americans in the house here, huh? Wow, strange times brought us together, right? But Romans 8:28 says God can use all things, he does use all things for the good, right? And so he forged a movement across the state. It's called the Walk as Free People movement. Any free people here? Oh yeah. John 8:36. If Jesus set you free, what? You're free indeed. And that's exactly why we're here. You know, 1777, 1778, George Washington was on this ground here. We're on hallowed ground. Isn't it fantastic? I think he'd be rolling over, though, if he saw what happened to his country. We keep on settling for losers, for rhinos, for weaklings, people that will lie to you and not do anything when they're in office. I wonder how many pro-life bills the Senate moved this year. Yeah, when they want your vote, they'll tell you whatever you need to, whatever they think is going to get your vote. But when it's time, I love those signs out there. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, does my heart good. They're really upset. They lie, cheat, and steal for a living. They think it's still like, the pre-Trump years. No, we're a new people. We're not going to be had. We're not going to be fooled anymore. We're tired of the games. And we're tired of the fecklessness as well. During the shutdown, why did it take the new guy in the Senate to actually do something? All these guys that have been in office for decades, making money, living a sweet life, and then and while your business is being shut down, and while your lives are being disrupted, and your kids being oppressed, they're at the country club playing golf. I kid you not. I'd come into Harrisburg all bedraggled. We were working 18 hours a day helping people through the night. People were having a terrible time. You had a hard time over the past 2 years. And I go in and my colleagues, I'm like, man, it's been a rough couple weeks here, hasn't it? And they're like, oh no, I'm working out. I'm at the golf course with my family. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You're supposed to be a servant of the people. So, look, if we have we have a golden opportunity this election cycle here to put a man of the people in as your governor. And the guys on the left and the rhinos, the established types, oh, he's too conservative. He can't raise money. Oh, he can't win Philly. And I'm just like, just shut up. Yeah. They said a lot of the same things about Donald Trump in 2016. You remember? Yeah. It's just like, stop talking. We got this. And that's one thing why they're willing to. I see a Whiskey Rebellion flag back there. That's fantastic. Oh yeah. We're Americans. We're tired of being lied to and played by politicians and politics. I got to tell you, all the things you think about politicians and politics, I can confirm many of those things to you. It's like, yep. Here we are. We tried to get an audit done last year. Whatever happened to that? Yeah. The establishment rose up and squashed it. Took my staff away in Harrisburg for some time. Yeah. Stripped me of my committee chairmanship. Yeah, thank you. We're done with this. So how we pull this off here in this Walk as Free People movement is we got to stand together. As Benjamin Franklin said in Philadelphia just down the road in 1776, if we don't hang together, we'll hang separately. So we're hanging together, and that's why they're pulling their hair out. Obviously, I already had my hair pulled out. It's okay. But they're looking at the polls, and they're like, what the heck is going on here? We're constantly ahead since May, and that's because the people, we've had enough. We're not going to take it anymore, right? We're done with this garbage. The chickens have indeed come home to roost. We come from a diverse bunch of backgrounds, different life experiences, but we're standing in common cause for our freedoms, our constitutional rights. Hey, just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. How'd that go for us? And since they're looking at the polling data and an election is coming up, magically the science has changed, right? It's time to open it up. Remember what they did to you. Remember what these politicians did to you, your families, your job, your businesses. For the business owners here, I had one business owner during a shutdown deemed non-essential. You know, how dare Governor Wolf, a guy born with a silver foot in his mouth, right? Wanting for nothing in his life, shut down businesses across the entire state, was not ready to receive the millions that needed some support so could, you know, put food on the table. But you'll notice one thing that happened. It became a game for him. The Wolf Company, the Wolf family business in York, that was the only cabinet shop in the state that stayed open. Can you believe this crap? And he bought one that near Huntington County out because he put him out of business and knocked his competition out. That is not right. That's not ethical. I think it's illegal. What do you think? Yeah, one business owner told me, because Doug, I just need to tell you what this means to us that we're being shut down. The business isn't what we do. It's who we are. It's our dreams. It's our hopes. It's our families pour their every sort of energy that they had into it to bring this business to life. And so that's why you need a governor that's going to fight for you. And look, Rebbe and I, my wife Rebbe here is the real hero, right? She really is. And you know, and I would say, you know, the Army wife is the hardest job in the Army. It really is true. You know, all 4 times she shipped me off to war was out of Germany, not in America, where she'd have a lot more support. I mean, so much sacrifice, and anything I achieved in life was from Rebbe's sacrifice and commitment as well. It wasn't easy, but you have to think about this here. So much is at stake. I did not ever dream about running for office. I was going to ride off into the sunset after 30 years in uniform and just kind of fade away, like General MacArthur said back in the 60s. But I looked at the condition of our state and country, and I couldn't do it. But thank you. What an honor it is to be fighting for you for the past couple of years. You know, I had no idea that I'd be in a fight for the freedoms of our basic constitutional rights. That so much was put at stake here and ripped away from us here. You know, I just, every day we woke up and we were free people. Life was great in America, but we watched the politicians and politics play behind the scenes and nibble away at our freedoms and then rip them out of our hands with the COVID excuse. You know, and all the things that we were called. I love that hat out there. That's great, man. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, Mike. All this, can I see the hands of the veterans out here? Thank you. Give it up for my brothers and sisters. Thank you. Every last one of you, thank you for your service. All of your service is important. I'd like to especially recognize and thank the Vietnam era veterans, because that was welcome home. We love you. We appreciate you. It always broke my heart to see my dad coming home not in uniform. He was a Navy man in the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. And one day I asked him when I was a little kid, Dad, why don't you wear a uniform when you come home? And he said, our commander told us we couldn't because we might get beat up off base. I was like, what? So Vietnam era veterans, thank you for holding the line. Because of you, my generation didn't have to put up with that crap. So much sacrifice, and you know, veterans, please tell your story. Please tell your story. Let people, you know, whether you're in combat or not, doesn't matter. Talk about your service, the funny parts, the sad parts, just so the next generation can understand what it costs to maintain these freedoms. So, okay, it's time for us to roll. Now, look, there's a lot of problems in our election. I got it, and so there might be a few people here. Doug, I'm not going to vote. My vote's not going to count. Please don't say that. Please don't do that. That's exactly what the rhinos and Democrats want you to say and do, right? They don't want you to vote. Now, look, we got a lot of problems. We got a lot of unanswered questions here. Nothing has been really done about safeguarding our election. But one thing I do know is that the Democrats overplayed their hand in 2020.
Yeah, they did. Lock them up.
Okay, so how are we going to beat this? So, Doug, what's your plan? Okay, we're going to win the primary, but the general election, Doug, I don't know. This is how we do it. Look at Virginia, huh? The Republicans had 95% of the polls manned with poll watchers. That's like unprecedented. So we'll need you in November, obviously, to man the polls and be a poll watcher. Thank you for doing that. That's huge. And number two, the Republicans in Virginia came out in overwhelming numbers because it was incredible. So that made up for all the cheating. And now that Youngkin is governor, he's going to be able to clean it up with his new Secretary of State. You got to love the Democrats. You know, so we had Youngkin and his lieutenant governor, who's from Jamaica, fantastic. And then I think his Secretary of State is from Cuba, and they're all called white supremacists. I'm like, come on. Democrats, they always call us names. If they don't like you, you're racist. Just start calling names. It's like, look in the mirror, guys. A bunch of, actually, yeah, I think it's transference. They actually have darkness in their hearts, so. But, okay, Pennsylvania, look, we were shut down and in bondage by Tom Wolfe. How's Tommy doing anyway? Who cares? Wow, tough crowd out here. How about Levine? Anyone miss Levine? Now, Admiral Levine, what the heck is up with that? Only a Democrat can get literally away with murder. 16,000 dead elderly because of science-denying policy. You know, I love it when Levine come out and say, we got to follow the science. I'm like, after you. Please do. Every cell in your body has X and Y chromosomes in a certain pattern. All the science. Gotta love it. You know, I was really getting worried about old Tommy for a while. Hadn't seen him for some months. Remember in the shutdown, he disappeared. And then he made an appearance like Elvis in Philadelphia 2 Junes ago and had that burn on his bald head. I totally get that's painful. But we, you know, Rebby and I had a debate whether that was a Florida or Hawaii burn. We weren't so sure. But then he came out and he says, okay, I'm moving some counties to yellow out of red phase. Remember this stupid crap?
Yeah, the color.
And so I shall move the Dauphin County, Harrisburg to yellow phase, and you shall gather in groups of 25 or less, but if 26 cometh, he shall be smitten down by COVID. I'm like, COVID is really a smart virus. You remember the bars. You could only drink if you had food with that beer, right? Until 10 o'clock. After 10, even with food, COVID's gonna get you. He would tell us this crap. Follow the science, Tom. Oh, yeah. It was terrible. Then Tommy worked out a deal with COVID. He arranged that COVID wouldn't strike you down until 11 o'clock, but only if you had food. But after 11, with or without food, you're dead. It's like, follow the science. Even these days, I'm driving down the highway and I see a guy alone in his car with a mask on. Okay. As Tucker said last week, that's a sure sign of mental illness. What do you think? So God is good. We have a vision for Pennsylvania to take our state back, and how we do it is go out in overwhelming numbers. Got to show up and vote. Get your friends and neighbors. Show up at our rallies. We have a huge rally in Lancaster on the 15th. It's free. We'll have Danny Goki will be there. Trump's spokesperson Liz Harrington will be there. Oh yeah, Teddy Daniels will be there. Yeah. Kathy Barnett. Steve Turley. It's going to be amazing. So here, I got to wrap it up here before you guys start walking away from me. Right? That's fantastic. So it's time to restore freedom. On day one, all the mandates that are left are gone. Simple as that, stroke of a pen. School choice, we got to have it. The money goes to the kids. No more CRT or left-wing propaganda to teach the kids to hate each other. It's done. School transparency and accountability. The schools work for you. Praying a blessing over all of you in Jesus' name. God bless you and God bless America.